Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to the finals of the greatest boxer tournament in Title Bout II. It's been an amazing last 6 months going through this tournament, but now it's time to come to an end. It's also time for our main event tonight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're bringing the finals of the greatest boxer tournament out for this one today. Here's a look at our bracket. You can see this is how we've gotten to our finals. So now, let's go meet our finalists. John Cena will be representing Rocky Balboa in this final bout in the greatest boxer tournament. Balboa's road to the finals was a rather twisty one. After disposing of Vladimir Klitschko in 2 rounds in the first round of the tournament, he then ran up against the owner, likely, of the upset of the tournament in Ken Norton, taking a 15-round battle against Norton, including breaking his hand. Then he recovered from the broken hand to take care of Vitaly Klitschko in the semifinals, who we saw earlier in the undercard take 3rd place over our other runner-up semifinalist. Anyway, we'll take a look at Balboa's card. Rating of 11 and a slugger, the Italian stallion. Takes control on a 10 or a 12. Aggressiveness and killer instinct both at 10. 90 endurance, foul rating B, defense 4, KD 1 and 2 of 4 and 0, knockout of 0, cut 5, and counterpunch 4. You can see the rest of his card there if you like. But first order of business for Balboa is we need to get him a cornerman for today. Hopefully we get some very skilled cornermen in this bout. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any kind of special twist to add. So it's just going to be another full semifinal bout, aside from being in the finals. And here's our first attempt at a cornerman for Balboa. We'll find Jimmy DeForest. Training very good. We're mostly interested in the cut swelling excellent. Boxer rating 8 and up, and he's available on a 1 to 40. So let's draw and see what we get here. That's a 25, so he's available for Balboa. With that, we can move him over to the board and meet his opponent. Represented by Roman Reigns in this bout, Rocky Marciano's road to the finals was another fairly twisty road. He took on Tyson Fury in the first round and went 14 rounds with Fury. That was in... I'm trying to remember which bout that was in. I think that was a... No, that wasn't a relay bout. We had a couple of special locations for the tournament over the course of the last few months. But he took out Ivan Drago in 3 rounds, and then took Lennox Lewis to the limit in 15 and got past him. So we'll take a look at Marciano's card. Rating of a 9 and a slugger. Takes control on a 9 or an 11. The 11 will be relevant since Balboa is also a slugger. Aggressiveness of 10, which ties with Balboa. The rating will make Balboa our aggressor. Killer instinct also a 10. Endurance of 140, foul as a C. For defense, KD 1 and 2 of 1 and 1, knockout 0, cut 5, and counterpunch 2. We'll go through the fatigue stuff later. We need to get Marciano a cornerman as well, so first attempt for that. Nacho Beristain, average on cuts and swelling, boxer rate 7 and up, and available on a 1 to 35. So let's see what we draw here. That's a 62, so he's not available, which means our next attempt. Kevin Rooney, who will take anybody, available on a 1 to 80. He's good on cuts and swelling. Just for formality's sake, yeah, a 1, so he's available. Which means Kevin Rooney will be Rocky Marciano's cornerman today, but we can now move him over to the ring as well. I normally do random draw for the referees, but I'm handpicking today's referee for the finals of the tournament. We're handpicking Mills Lane. Fouls and stoppage both normal. Consistency 1 to 85. Boxer rating of a 9, but I'm not concerning myself with that. What did I do with my pen right here? Mills Lane. Normal, checks on 4th point deduction. The dancing girls are finally stopping their performance as the boxers are getting ready in the ring. They're going through their final instructions, and there's not a seat in this. There's not a seat filled right now. There's not an empty seat in the house. That's what I'm trying to say there. Everything's all set, so we're about to sound the bell to start round 1. We'll check for our referee mistakes first as Mills Lane finishes giving the final instructions. 51 says the round will be all clear. Fighters touch gloves, go back to their corners, and there's the bell to start round 1. Balboa will start us off as our aggressor. He who needs a 12 or less to take control, which an 8 will do. Balboa will then. 53 will be a clinch. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 52 will clinch again. That's something we could probably add as excessive clinching. I believe there are directions for that in here. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 71 is going to be ring movement, so our first ring movement of the bout will take us to the far corner, which means Balboa will be a +1 to take control. So back to Balboa we go. Who loses control. Marciano needs an 11 or less for his first action of the bout, which a 7 will give him control. And he'll come out with a power shot right away. Balboa's a 4 against a 9. 9, 4 will be 5 points to Marciano. He'll get Balboa's attention right away. Once the dial decides to focus. There we are. 5 points to Marciano. Back to Marciano on the control action. He'll stay in control. 64 will be a ring movement of his own, which automatically brings us back to ring center. Marciano now, back in control. He'll keep control. 24 will land another punch. Marciano will land. 20 cut. 20 will be good for a 3-point hook, which will bring Marciano up to 8 points. And then we've got to check Balboa for a cut already. Balboa is going to be a 5 plus a 55. That's a 60. That should be a fairly significant cut. Bringing my notes over. A 60 on the cut table is going to be minor swelling over the left eye. Which will be -1 defense. And good for 2 cut points. So Balboa now has 2 cut points against him. And then that'll bring us back to Marciano's control check once I get everything reorganized here. So Marciano will lose control. Balboa takes it. Foul. Balboa is a B against a 59. That'll be a B against a 59. Mills Lane telling him already, keep it clean, guys. It's been a tense journey, but let's keep it clean, guys. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano takes it. Oop. We'll deal with that card in a second. 13 just misses a power shot, but he will land a punch. Marciano will land. 64 cut. 64 now is good for a 3-point uppercut, which brings Marciano up to 11 points, and Balboa is getting chewed up already. Balboa is a 5 plus a 74. That should be some significant damage. That'll be a 79. Major cut over the left eye. Which is going to do a lot. So major cut over the left eye. -1 control factor. -3 defense. And -3 punches landed. Blood is severely impeding Balboa's vision already. And that brings Balboa up to 7 cut points against him. Back to Marciano we go. who stays in control. 26 is going to land another punch. Marciano will land. A 46 will be good for a 2-point cross, bringing Marciano up to 13 points on the round. Back to Marciano, who loses control, but just barely. Balboa can't take it. Marciano can't take control. No control. Balboa. No control. Marciano. No control. Balboa takes control. 10 is going to land a power shot of his own. He needed that. Marciano's a 1 against an 8. That's probably just 4 points. Yep. 4 points to Balboa. So Balboa finally getting on the board with 4 points. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano can't take it. Balboa takes control. 31 is going to miss a punch, no counter punch. Back to Balboa. No control. Marciano. No control. Balboa takes control. 63 is going to clinch. Back to Balboa. No control. Marciano takes control. 18 is going to land another punch. Marciano will land. 1 point partially blocked. That'll bring Marciano up to 14 points on the round, once the dial decides to focus. There we go. 14 points. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes it. 12 is going to land a power shot. Marciano's a 2 against a 2. That's probably 4 points. Yep, 4 points to Balboa. 4 points he needed desperately, though, as we'll see in a second. Because there's the bell to end round 1. What an exciting round already. 8 points for Balboa, 14 for Marciano. Just double checking my... Okay, and a 6-point differential. We've got to check how the judges scored. So the judges are scoring this one. High, high, low. So they're giving it to Marciano. Right. So 14 from 90 is 76 and 132. Just making sure I've got all my paperwork straight. I'll get the decks reshuffled, and when we come back, Marciano will be our aggressor to start round 2. Before we jump into round 2, we're going to do a couple of checks. First up, Jimmy DeForest has got to do something about that major cut over Balboa's left eye. Fortunately, he's excellent at dealing with cuts, so let's see what we get here. We find a 24, which will be good for a 3-point reduction on the cut points that have been accumulated. Where is that chart? Oh, here it is. Actually, I take that back. A 24 will only be a 2-point reduction, but still, that'll be plenty, which will bring Balboa down to 5 cut points. We also need to make a check on Mills Lane. We want to see a 1 to 75 here for a nice clean round. And we will get that as well. With those checks out of the way, DeForest is going to leave the minor swelling for later, and there's the bell, and let's start round 2. Marciano will start us off with control. First action of the round for Marciano will be ring movement, so we'll be moving. Nowhere, we're staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who stays in control just. 33 is going to miss a punch, no counter punch. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa gets his first action of the round. He'll take control. 47 will be a missed punch. Marciano can try to counterpunch. He needs a 1 to 32 to counterpunch. 65 won't do it. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 46 will miss a punch. Once again, Marciano will try to counterpunch. He'll just miss it. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano takes it. 67 will be ring movement, so we'll be moving to the left neutral corner. Now Marciano's a +1 on control check, so a 12 will work for him. That's a 19. That won't work. Balboa loses, can't take no control. Marciano, no control. Balboa takes control. 35 is going to miss a punch, no counter punch. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. Misses a punch, just out of counter punch range for Marciano. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 22 is going to land a punch. Our first punch of the round. Balboa will get on the board. 69 with a 3-point uppercut. Balboa up to 3 points. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 51 is going to clinch. Back to Balboa, who just stays in control, and I mean just. Foul. Balboa is a B against a 62. That'll probably be an admonishment of some kind. B against a 62, telling him to keep it clean again. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 44 is going to miss a punch. Marciano can try to counterpunch. 49 won't do it, though. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. He's doing a lot from the corner. 70 will be ring movement, which will bring us right back to ring center. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 23 will land a punch. Balboa will land. 56 will be good for a 3-point combination. So that'll bring Balboa up to 6 points. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. Foul again. Balboa is a B against a 58. That'll probably be another admonishment to keep it clean. Nope, stop using the elbows. Back to Balboa, who loses control finally. Marciano takes control. 77 ring movement. Marciano will be moving us. Staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa, no control. Marciano takes control. Last card of the round, theoretically. 68 would be ring movement, but there's the bell to end round 2. Much slower round this time. 6-0. Not in danger of any 2 or 3 round TKOs. 6 will be 126. At a 6-point differential, we need to see how the judges score it. The judges are scoring this one. High, even, low. A dead even round, which is a break for Marciano. 10-9. 10-10. 9-10. Marciano gets a huge break from the score from the judges on that one. But we'll get the decks reshuffled, and when we come back for round 3, Marciano will still be our aggressor. With a round with no further damage, Jimmy DeForest is going to go to work on that minor swelling next. So let's see what kind of a number we get here. A 47 with an excellent. Here it is. 47 is good for a 1-point reduction on the swelling. The effects will still linger, which will bring Balboa down to 4 cut points against him. We'll do a check on Mills Lane as well. 78. Uh-oh, we're going to have a problem this round. This is a call on obvious foul, so we're going to be very lenient for the round. With that said, let me finish making some notes here. So round 3, Marciano will be our aggressor to start round 3. So Marciano will start us off with control. Leading into a landed punch, Marciano will land. 60 cut. 60 is a 2-point combination. And Balboa is getting chewed to pieces in this round, or in this fight. Balboa is a 4 against a foul, so a 0 no cut. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes control. 48 is going to miss a punch. Marciano can try to counter punch. 1 to 32 for that. 11, he'll do it with a power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 2. That should be 2 points. Yep, 4 points to Marciano. So Marciano up to 6 points. Back over to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes control. Lands a power shot of his own. Marciano is a 1 against an 11. 11-1. That'll be 5 points to Balboa, who gets some much needed points in the round. Back to Balboa we go, who loses control. Marciano, no control. Balboa, I should be factoring in his -1 control factor. Not that he needs it there, he takes control anyway, so this is back to Balboa. He'll land another power shot. Marciano is a 1 against a 13. 13-1 will be another 5 points to Balboa, so that'll bring Balboa up to 10 points. Not 90, 10. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano can't take it. Balboa takes control. 52 will clinch. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano, no control. Balboa, no control. Marciano takes control. 11's going to land another power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 10. 10-4 will be 5 points to Marciano, which will bring him up to 11 points. We're throwing bombs this round. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes it. 55 will clinch. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano, no control. Balboa, no control. Marciano takes control. 79 is ring movement, so we'll be moving nowhere, staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 54 will clinch. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes it. 11's going to land another power shot. Marciano's a 1 against a 7, which I believe is just going to be a 4-pointer. Yep, that's another 4-pointer to Balboa. So 14 points to Balboa, who gets our next control check. Balboa will stay in control, landing another power shot. Marciano's still a 1 against a 5. Will be another 4 points to Balboa. Balboa's starting to take over a little bit this round in the second half of round 3. Back to Balboa. He's landed 2 power shots in a row. Stays in control. Foul. Balboa is a B against a 31. Minus 10 is 21. That would get waved off at a 31 anyway. Back to Balboa, who stays in control again. 24 is going to land a punch. Balboa will land. 46 will be good for a 3-point cross, which will bring Balboa up to 21 points. And now we need to be aware of potential TKOs. Balboa comes back with control, landing a power shot. Marciano is a 1 against a 9. I don't think this will be trouble. It should be another 4-pointer. Yep, another 4 points to Balboa. $25 points for Balboa. He gets the next control check. He'll lose control to Marciano's relief, and Marciano would get control, but there's the bell to end round 3. Balboa really took control of that round. 25-11. 39. 25 for total points. 25 will be 99. 11. 65 for Balboa. At a 14-point differential, high score wins 10-9. So Balboa picks up his first win in a round of the fight, which essentially brings us to even Steven. So we'll get the decks reshuffled, and then Balboa will be our aggressor to start round 4. Two checks we need to make before we start the round. Marciano took a lot of punishment that round, so we need to check on his condition. He's a knockout rating of 0 against a 43, means there will be no effect here. Then our check on Mills Lane. A 2 says he's back to normal. Okay, good. So Balboa's all set to be our aggressor, so there's the bell. Let's start round 4. Balboa will start us off with control. 47 is going to miss a punch. Marciano can try to counter punch, but he won't do it on a 78. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 70 will be ring movement, so we'll be moving nowhere, staying at ring center. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano takes control. 65 is going to be ring movement, so Marciano will lead us nowhere. We're still staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes it. 29 is going to land a punch. Balboa will land. 29 again will be good for a 2-point hook, so that'll put Balboa on the board with 2 points. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano takes it with a foul. Marciano's a C against a 61. C against a 61. Don't lead with your head. Back to Marciano we go, who stays in control. 46 will miss a punch. Balboa can try to counter punch. So Balboa needs a 1-34. A 40 won't work. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. Special. So we go to this deck and find the special text here. Just a pause in the action. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 33 misses a punch, no counterpunch. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa can't take it. Marciano takes control back. 25 is going to land a punch. Marciano will get on the board with. 40 cut. 40 is good for a 3-point cross. And then we need to check against Balboa's cut. Again, Balboa is a 5 plus, a 38. 43 could be trouble. 43 will be minor cut under the right eye. Minor cut under the right eye. +1 to cut rating. And that'll be good for 1 cut point, which will bring Balboa back up to 5. Back to Marciano, who will stay in control. Landing a power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 12. 12, 4. 5 points to Marciano, and he stays in control for the next control check. Stuns him with the punch. So we go straight to the action check for Marciano. 68 will be ring movement, so we'll be moving. Nowhere, staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 12 is going to just miss power shot, but he'll land another punch. Marciano will land. A 2 will be good for a 3-point jab. Marciano up to 11 points on the round. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa takes it. 62 will be a clinch. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 72 is ring movement, so we'll be moving to the far ropes, which will make Balboa +1 on the control check here. So Balboa now needs a 12 to take control, because remember, he's down 1 from his cut earlier. An 18 won't do it, though. Marciano takes control. Foul. Marciano's a C against a 75. That's going to be a problem for Marciano. I'm just making a note off camera. A 75 against a C. He's going to lose a point for continued holding and hitting. That's his first foul. Back to Marciano we go, though. He'll stay in control. Last card, theoretically, of the round. Will be a power shot. Balboa's a 4 against a 7. 4 against a 7, so 7, 4. Will be 5 points to Marciano, which will bring him up to 16 points. But that's the end of round 4. Marciano picks up 16 points to Balboa's 2. 41. That's 41 also for Marciano. By a 14-point differential, high score wins 10-9, but remember, Marciano lost a point because of that foul that he picked up toward the end of the round. So that's actually going to end up being a dead even round. But we do need to be aware of 3-round TKOs once we get up to 60 points. And both of them are very much within range right now of that. I believe, no, they're not. Actually, yes, they are. 27. Balboa gets 20. You would need to get 33 points, so never mind that. Marciano, 27. Okay, never mind. We're not in range of a 3-round TKO. I was looking at the total points accumulated for the round, but we're not in danger of a 3-round TKO. So I'll get the decks shuffled up, and when we come back, because of the even round, Balboa will remain our aggressor. Bringing the fighters back to ring center. This time we have just one check to make on Mills Lane. 33 says we're going to have no problems this bout. And there's the bell to start round 5. Balboa will start us off with control. 54 will be a clinch. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 24 is going to land a punch. Balboa will get on the board first. 32 with a 2-point hook. That'll bring him up to 2 points. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano's first action of the round. He'll take control. 48 is going to miss a punch. Balboa can try to counterpunch. He needs a 1 to 34. 60 won't do it. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 66 will be ring movement, so Marciano will be leading us. Staying at ring center. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Balboa can't take it. Marciano takes control. Marciano lands a power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 10. This might be trouble, but I don't think so. Nope, 5 points to Marciano, but still, it's enough to give him the lead at this early stage of round 5. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 26 is going to be another landed punch. Marciano will land. 20 cut. 20 is good for a 3-point hook, which will bring Marciano up to 8 points. And then Balboa's got to draw another cut card. So he's a 6 plus a 0, so no cut. The reason he's a 6 is because one of his cuts gave him +1 to cut rating. So back to Marciano we go, who stays in control. 43 is going to miss a punch. Balboa can try to counterpunch. He needs a 1 to 30. Needs a 1 to 34 to land the counterpunch. And 11 will be a power shot. Marciano is a 1 against an 8. That should be a 4-pointer, right? Yes. 4 points to Balboa that he needed. Which means we'll give the next counter control check to Balboa. He won't take it. Marciano. No control. Balboa. No control. Remember, he's down 1 from a cut earlier. Marciano. No control. Balboa takes control. 55 is going to be a clinch. Back to Balboa, who stays in control. 57 is going to clinch. Back to Balboa, who loses control. Marciano. No control. Balboa. No control. Marciano takes control. Landing another power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 15. This might be trouble. 15, 4, 5F. So 5 points to Marciano, and he gets Killer Instinct. This will be our first Killer Instinct run all fight. So 13 points to Marciano. And we deal out 10 cards for Killer Instinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Marciano's first card of Killer Instinct. 37 is going to miss a punch. Balboa can try to counterpunch. He needs a 1 to 34, which an 80 won't do. Back to Marciano, who lands another power shot. Balboa once again is a 4 against a 15. 15, 4. There's another 5 points to Marciano, but we don't start a new killer instinct. So 18 points for Marciano. Continuing Marciano's killer instinct. 53 will be a clinch. Then 14 will be another landed punch. Marciano will land. 21 will be good for a 2-point hook, which will bring Marciano up to 20 points on the round. Marciano in control of this round. Next up will be another power shot. Balboa is a 4 against a 12. 12. 4 will be another 5 points to Marciano. Another 5-point power shot, and Rocky Marciano will win the Greatest Boxer tournament this year. 5 points. Next card up for Marciano is another power shot. Here we go. Balboa is a 4 against a 7. Is that enough? 7, 4. Come on. That is just barely enough, but it's exactsies, so Mills Lane will wave the fight off, and he'll give it to Rocky Marciano in the 5th round via TKO. 30 points for Marciano to 6 for Balboa. That is the end of the Greatest Boxer tournament in Title Bout II, and Rocky Marciano has won the tournament. The crowd here in the MGM Grand is giving both fighters a standing ovation for an amazing year in the Greatest Boxer tournament in Title Bout II. This has been a very fun tournament to play, and we'll talk more about that when I do a tournament retrospective on this Greatest Boxer tournament. But that will do it for this playthrough of Title Bout II. As for what's coming up on the channel, I don't think there's going to be any more gameplay tonight. I'm going to do a little bit of gameplay for pleasure, but we'll get to that. As for what's coming up on the channel, tomorrow we're going back to the air war during World War II. First up, we'll take on an alternate history game where we play America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies from Compass Games. And in the afternoon, we'll go back to our background campaign of Target for Today from Legion War Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.